Hello, friends of Sudoku, and welcome to an evil puzzle, this time again from websudoku.com. We'll just get started. There's a 6 here and there's a 6 here blocking over, so this square is a 6. This 7 blocks over, therefore the 7 must go here. A couple of 9s blocking down, a couple of 9s blocking over. This is a 9. Two blocking over, and a 2 blocking up. Gives me a 2 for this square here. A couple of 1s blocking like so. This 1 blocking across, making this a 1. Now we need a 1 for this column here. These two 1s prevent a 1 from going here. This 1 prevents a 1 from going here. Therefore, the 1 must going up here. And these two now must be an 8 and a 3. This 9 blocks up. This 9 blocks across. One of these two squares must be a 9 and they block down. This 9 blocks up. This 9 blocks across. Therefore, this square must be a 9. I believe that it more or less takes care of the easy digits so that we can enter without thinking.
Did he say that?
So now let's look at the 3, 8 here. There isn't much we can do about them, but we can think about what goes into these 3 squares. And that must be a 4, 5, and a 9. We got a 4 and a 5 blocking up here. So this must be a 5, and this is now a 4, 9, and this is a 4, 9. There's one more easy digit, of course, because the 4 blocks over, this 4 blocks over the other way, and therefore this must be a 4. The 5 blocks up here, and this 5 blocks across. So a 5 must go here. I'm just now noticing the two 7s blocking down here, making this a 7.
777.
We need a 5 for this column 3 here. The 5 blocks here, this 5 blocks here, and this 5 blocks here. So the only cell that can take a 5 in this column is here. Now we can look at these two 1s blocking over here, making this a 1. Here's a pattern we often, I think, associate with the New York Times puzzles. There's a 5 and a 9 here, and there's a 5 and a 9 here. We need a 5 and a 9 for these two squares. So that means that we effectively have 5 givens already in this row. So what might the other digits be? If these are 5 9s, we need to find a 2, 3, 6, and a 7. A 7 can't go here or here, and the 7 prevents a 7 from going here as well. So this must be a 7. A 2, 3, and a 6 now for these squares here. We can't readily resolve those, but we got ourselves a 7. And now we know that a 4 and a 7 must share two of these 3 squares here, because a 4 blocks over here and this 4 blocks here. One of these is going to be a 4 blocking down like so. So one of these is a 4. The 7 blocks over and these two 7s block down. So one of these is a 7. I want to look again at these 4 squares here, because they seem rather restricted. So let's start with this one. It can be a 6 or an 8. And the same is true for this square. These two squares, a 6 and an 8 pair. So we need to figure out what to do with these three squares, because they can't be 6 and 8. Therefore, there must be a 2, 4, and a 7. There's a 7 and a 4 here in this box, namely here. Therefore, this must be a 2. And this is now a 4, 7, and this is a 4, 7. So 6, 8 here. What's the last digit? That's a 3. So a 3 must go down here and therefore up here somewhere, because the 3 is blocking over, right? We still have the ghost 5 9s here, but we're no closer, I think, to the 2, 3, and the 6 here. Finding this 2 was important, I think, because now these squares are blocked by these 2s, and we got a couple of 2s blocking down like so. So this is a 2. And that gives me a 5, because we got a 5 blocking down here. We got these two 5s blocking across here. So the 5 must go here. This 5 blocks up, this blocks down, this blocks over, this blocks over. Therefore, 5 must go here. We got all the 5s now for this grid. Four, 6, and 7 for these squares here. Well, there isn't really much I can do about that at this time.
Helpless.
When we found this 5, we took away an important square from a 9, because we got a couple of 9s blocking over like so. And before we found that 5 here, a 9 could go here and here, but now it can only go here. This 9 now blocks up, and this blocks across, making this a 9. And that gives us a 9 for the top row, like so. And we remember that these two were a 9 and 4 pair, don't we? So this is a 4, making this square a 4 as well. Therefore, this is a 4. What do we have here? What don't we have? We don't have a 6 and we don't have a 3, except we do have a 3. So this is a 6 and this is a 3. The 3 blocks up, therefore one of these must be a 3, and therefore this must be a 3. These now must be a 7 and I believe an 8, yes. And therefore this must be a 6. Now can we do something across here? An 8 and a 7, we got a 7 blocking here, so the 8 clearly must go here and the 7 here, and that makes this an 8. This must be a 7. Here we are dealing now with a 3 and a 6. 3, 6. No, we can't solution that, not yet. But we are getting there. What's happening here, or what isn't happening? A 1, 7, and an 8. Well, clearly this must be the 1. And this is now a 7, 8 pair, and there is an 8 in this block. So the 7 must go here, and this square belongs to the 8. These two must be a 7, which can't go here because of this 7. And it must be a 3. And that makes a 3 out of this square. One of these is a 3 now. These two must be a 1 and a 6. The 1 blocks up, therefore the 1 goes here and the 6 here. These 1s block over like so, and this 1 blocks up, therefore this is a 1. This must be an 8. making this an 8 and this a 3. And therefore this is a 3 and this is a 6. Making a 6 out of this square, these two must be a 2 and a 3. We got a 3 blocking over. And therefore this is a 2 now. This square has got to be a 4. And these two must be an 8 and a 3. I remember that. We got a 3 blocking up now, so the 8 must go here and the 3 here. That makes this square an 8, and the last square has got to be a 6. This was an evil puzzle from websudoku.com. I hope you enjoyed it and that you will come back for more soon. Thank you for watching and bye for now.